Hello, how you doing? Let's do a little bit of live Q&A. I know there's no one there, but let's just see if this is working as it should. As it should. Shout out in the comments if you can hear me. Shout out in the comments if you can hear me. There we go, there we go. Looks like we got two Zetters in the comments. I'll give myself a like. Give me a like too if you're into this. We got one like. Happy days. That was my own. All right, let me just share this. Let me just share this with the Zetters over at Discord. Tell your friends. Get your questions lined up. I don't really have anything to chat about, essentially. We'll find some stuff. There were some interesting things this week. Q&A. Shout out if you're watching. Who's watching? We've got 5 viewers. You're all silent. Secrets to everything. We should get a few more now. Let's go. All right, 7 viewers, 3 likes. Let's go. Vivi, bro, finally. What do you mean finally? I'm always here. Where have you been? Where have you been? How many horses you got? What have I got the news up here for? What's doing? I don't need the news. FFS. I just bought my first horse from a guy today. Haven't done anything yet. Congratulations, mate. First horse. That will be a dud. No doubt about it. No, just joking. Most of us buy a dud first round. I bought heaps of duds first round because I didn't know what I was doing. But I'm sure yours is an absolute gun. BJ, brother, how are you? Snooze fighting. What's up? Not much. Got me a cup of tea. Just got out of bed. It's well, I didn't really. It's 8:44 a.m. here. I got out of bed at least 8:30 or so. Maybe. Yeah, it's all right. It's chilly here. It's getting chilly. We're coming into winter. Well, when I say chilly, I'm still wearing shorts, but it's a little fresh. All right. Well, shoot me a few questions. Shoot me a few questions. We'll get going. We'll get started. We'll see what comes of this. If you haven't already subscribed, give me a subscribe. Tell your friends about Poseidon Racing on YouTube so that we can grow this. Look, to be honest, I don't have a lot of time. I'm a bit older than a lot of the demographic, I suppose, of Z-Run. And I have my own business, my own family, and a lot of other things that are sort of soaking up time. But I love Zed, and anytime I get a free moment like this, my little boy's out there playing Minecraft or watching Minecraft YouTube videos or something. He's on school holidays, but I'll jump in here for an hour, see what we can do. All right, what do we got here? Any questions? Vivi, my horses never win. I've tried all different distances, just learning about odds. It's all about the odds, guys. It's all about the odds. This is Zest over here. Let's refresh, see if we've got any races coming up. This is where you want to go to check out your odds when your race has been filled but not yet run. Okay, in the lead up to that race running. And this is this is what I follow religiously. You know, I'm buying horses based on this. I'm racing horses based on this. If you're getting horses down around $6, $7, you can see $7.99 here for Dynamo Run. And look at the record that goes with it. That's kind of how it works. It's not a perfect science, but it is the best early indicator of how good your horse is at that particular distance. Not always accurate. I've had horses. I was telling, we did a great little Q&A for 3 hours with Doofy on Doofy's racing YouTube channel. Jump over there and check that out. Give him a subscribe too. I was on there for about 2.5, 3 hours and basically did a complete knowledge dump. Everything that I know is pretty much in that video, so go and check that out. But I was telling him a story about a horse I had early days, one of my first horses called The Dream. And it used to race with $4 and $5 odds. And I ran it for at least 15 to 20 races without a win. And my brother was like, and this was back in the day, no free racing. The racing was costing us at least $5 plus $3 or $4 in gas. So I was spending a fortune on this horse. My brother's like, just stop racing this thing. It's a dud. Just let it go. Kept trying, kept trying. I'm like, no, the odds mean something. They got to mean something. And eventually it started winning, and then it went on a streak, and it went from 0 wins over 15 or 20 to eventually getting up to a 20% a horse. So if you've got one of those dud horses that have good odds, well, persist around. You'll probably find that it comes good eventually, hopefully. Joseph, ready for work in the US. Oh, ready to leave work. Yeah, we're on the opposite sides of the world, aren't we, mate? Yeah, a few others. Nasinmia or Ensinmia. Bought a lot of duds. Grandson of Insane Him. Yeah, Insane Him actually has a habit of producing really good horses. He's got a really interesting racing bloodline below him. Whereas Grandeur and Breathless Edge, currently not so many great racers below there. But I have a theory that the better the racer, potentially, might have something to do with the harder to breed aspect. Because imagine if Breathless Edge was like the best breeder in the game, then and he was just spitting out, you know, champions left, right, and centre. Well, that would be probably a negative aspect to the game, wouldn't it? I would imagine. So I imagine he probably only drops a champion every 20, 30, 40 or 50 or so. But when that happens, it might be something special. Who knows? Fingers crossed. Snooze fighting. Why does my horse always lose? I don't know. Does it have terrible odds? Is it like 15 or 20 to 1 plus? That could be the reason. It could be the reason you're in the wrong distances, in the wrong races. I see a lot of people racing up out of grades. You know, they've got a class 5 horse racing it in class 2 or class 1. You'll get there. If your horse is good enough, you'll probably get there eventually. No need racing against the best in the game before your time, in my opinion. You're just going to do yourself out of dough. Have I ever noticed that some horses in races that are backed up appear to have fatigue turned on? No. No, I haven't. I haven't noticed any signs of fatigue as yet. Zach, is there a video to watch of Z drop in action? No, not that I know of. I might do one next time, but I don't think it will be relative because I think the drop's going to be completely different. It was much of a free-for-all before the last couple, but I think there's going to be some sort of order, and that's why we haven't heard about the next date. The previous 3 drops were basically 2 weeks apart, or even at one stage they were 1 week apart. It went drop 1, then 1 week, drop 2, then 2 weeks, then drop 3. And now we're sort of approaching 2 weeks already, I think, and we haven't heard anything. So my best guess is that they're setting up something behind the scenes to make it more orderly. Jason, wow, mate, you have set yourself up with an interesting bloodlines there. Now own two of Granger's grandsons and one of Breathless Edge's as well. Nice work, very nice work. Very valuable bloodlines there, I would imagine. Snooze fighting. Where'd that question go? Oh, there it is. I have a female horse. Oh, I was just checking. I thought the stream had frozen, but it looks okay. A female horse, and I want to breed her, but was afraid to breed her with some random horse. Looks like I should have tried something. Oh, look, it'll be open up again. Yeah, there's no rush. I only bred a couple of horses, and I was just about to breed all my horses when it closed down, so that's fine. There's plenty of time in the future for that. Mike Ayres, yeah, it was a good video. There's a lot of knowledge on there. If you watch that video on Doofy's channel, as I said, it goes for about 2.5 hours. Get a notepad and a pen because essentially myself and Doofy, and then later on in that video we had Z Gazette and Lucky Jack, and it's just a complete knowledge dump. It's pretty much nothing withhold. All the secrets and tricks that we know are all in that video to date, I would say. It's a great roundup of the entire knowledge of a few races that have been here for 12 months or so. Luke, so running a horse can possibly improve performance? I'm not 100% sure on that. It seems to be the case with horses that start slow, as in have relatively good odds but aren't winning. They normally will come good. But there's also horses that start really fast and then level off the other way. So, yeah, I'm not sure if actual racing performance can improve, or racing more can improve your horse yet. That's not confirmed or denied 100% either way yet. Mike, do I think racing genes skip a generation? They could do. There's some evidence of that, particularly with the Breathless Edge bloodline. Shall we have a look? Let's have a look. All right, here we go. Let's look up, where are we, roster? Let's look up Breathless Edge. I think Breathless Edge is going to be an interesting study in breeding because of the fact that he is one of the best said ones, and because of the fact that he's not currently producing any, really great legends. There's one that's good, and that is Ducky on the Edge, which is a Breathless Edge Ducky Malin offspring. If we open this up here, there's a few in there that are reasonable, but nothing that would suggest. Oh, there you go. Pong's got 22%. That's early days. 15%. Oh, actually, they're getting better. They're getting better. From here on down, we got 15, 15, 11, 11, 22. So I was a bit harsh saying there wasn't much there, because there is starting to show some signs. So maybe the mares that were bred with up the top here weren't premium mares. That could have been the issue. But, I think it's Breathless ID that has created Atari. Yeah, here we go. Atari, or Atar, with an exclamation point. 313 races, huge win place record, 16.29%. Against, that's pretty much all paid racing, okay? All paid racing. And that, if we look into these horses, you will see that it seems to have skipped a generation or so. So you can see, this is on the father side, you got Sabre, and then behind S&M is Breathless Edge and I think Boiling Religion. I won't go too deep into there, but Breathless Edge is the grandfather on that side. Well, the great-grandfather, isn't it? That's the father. Yeah, the great-grandfather is on this side of Atar, or Atari if you like. Okay, he's the great-grandfather there. And then on Breathless ID side, he is the grandfather. You can see Breathless Edge there. So he's on both sides of the bloodline there. Once as the great-grandfather, once as the grandfather. Seems to have produced something special. So that's something I'll be experimenting with myself, trying to tease out more similar style horses, or maybe even better would be ideal. All right. Is a Z268 good? I'm not sure. There might be some good ones, or some bad ones, or some in between. Next drop? No, I don't know when the next drop is. VV. Where'd that go? There was a question, it keeps jumping on me. There's a question, at what point, from NDK, what point do you decide to retire a horse from racing? For me, as soon as it becomes profitable or it's eating pretty aggressively into the win percentage, is when I start to consider whether it's time to retire. There's a balance there between, you know, a horse like Breathless Edge or Insane Him or Grandeur, who are all my horses. Even when they are still profitable, but maybe only winning at 15% instead of their normal 25 to 30%, am I willing to still put them in races while their win rate drops down maybe below 20 if they're still making money? Now, and that becomes a long-term question because they're in a unique position where they've established this win percentage that is probably not going to get surpassed. So, or not in the long run. I don't think you'll see. I think you'll really struggle to see a horse like Breathless Edge, for example, with almost 400 races and a win rate of around 24%, okay? I'm not sure, and that's 100% down to the quality of the fields going up, all right? Breathless Edge is still probably, arguably, I would say still definitely, in fact, the best Z1 racer in the game. There's some other competition there in Baroque, in particular, and Phantom Pacer looks reasonable as well, and some others as well, but I don't think they'll ever reach those heights. It'll be really, really difficult because of the quality of the field now. We got AI Smizzle Games. So what would you do with a horse that has classed itself out of reach to be able to pull good odds in distances that lower classes? Okay, so a horse that's moved up class and is essentially no longer competitive in, say, class 1 or 2, when it used to be, you know, reasonably low odds at class 4 or 5. I retire that horse for breeding, and look to bring another horse up or in its place. I'm not a sandbagger. I respect the horse's statistics on a much higher level than just a few dollars from sandbagging. There's many horses out there that have had their stats absolutely destroyed, and it was such a unique period of time when the fields weren't that strong that you could build really, really strong stats and build a really, really big reputation, and some of those horses have been absolutely destroyed their reputation, in my opinion, through sandbagging. Okay, they could have been talked about on a much higher level, but because now they're only winning at 15%, it's not really the elite level. Anything over 20 is elite. So think twice before sandbagging, is my opinion. Zook D. Doofy Stanley about to go live on the Pony Plug to call races. How do we combine streams and get this cooking? I got no idea technically how to do that, Zook. But anyway, you've successfully managed to give you a plug in the middle of my stream and send you some of my users over there. That's all good. Snooze. I raced the shortest distances in class 5. She tends to do better at those distances, but her odds are like 15 or higher. Yeah, I think long term, I don't know, it could be an overperformer, but generally long term they start to level out. So my best guess is this horse is probably, you know, within its first 20, 30 races, and it's jagged a couple of wins. They may not keep coming. Maybe they do, but keep your eye on it, and they might not. No, yeah. Domitas, 1, 2, 3. No, you can have a horse that's pretty good at every single distance. As far as odds are concerned, what you want to do is get that horse up to around 50, 100 races, then look at the win percentage. Okay, and you'll see some distances will have, you know, 0 or 5% win rate, and some will have 40% win rate. And then dial in on those ones where your horse seems to like that better. Zach, what kind of notice before the drop? Oh, they'll give us a couple of weeks easy, I would say. Minimum a week. Guys, hit me up. We got 33 viewers and 10 likes. What's doing? Just hit the like button. Hit the like button. Come on. It's like the payment to get in. It's the payment to get in. If you haven't subscribed and you like the content, hit that sub button as well. That would be much appreciated. interestingly, you know, I get a lot of views, but only 29% are subbed. So come on, there's a lot of potential to grow this, and it will help Zed grow as well. Corey, love the content. Thanks, mate. Love your support. Trying to source a Z 7 to 10 exclusive mare with decent bloodlines. Would it be reasonable to find one for under 0.5? Maybe. Send me a... it's tight. Send me a private message because I'm about to breed with a bunch of horses. The problem is the mares are much more expensive in my opinion because they are stackable. You can keep adding more blood into them. Whereas the colts, when you breed a colt exclusive, it changes to elite. Okay, so there's some sort of something there. So I'm not sure exactly how that works, but the mare you're looking for, and the reason that you're saying that is because you're on the same page that I am. So 0.5 with decent bloodlines, it's probably not going to be there. Like if I breed Alabaster Lily with anything decent, let's have a look at Alabaster Lily here. Alabas. Here she is. There you go, Alabaster Lily, beautiful alabaster colour, surprise, surprise, 286 races, nearly 15%. Now, back before the reset, we were breeding her with all sorts of combinations, and a lot of them turned out to be not great horses once they reset. So a lot of her fillies are not great, but you can see she's got some decent ones. Mirage Lily. Who's Mirage Lily? Did I breed that one? I don't think I did. Well, I must have done. Insane Mirage, Alabaster Lily. So there's some pretty incredible bloodlines there actually. But yeah, if I was to breed Alabaster with Insane Him or Grandeur or Breathless Edge, yeah, you'd be looking expensive. But maybe down the line a little bit, maybe down the line you can get one for that. Pawn Shop. Trying to calculate if a horse has win odds of 10 to 1, can we roughly eyeball any way to estimate the number of... Nah, the horses are different. Some horses will win, you know, like I've got a horse, like there's Alabaster Lily there, 42, and then it drops down to 29, 21. So a little bit of a tear off, but if you look at a horse like, which has very similar odds, in Excited Prince. Excited. Look at this guy. Very similar odds, very similar win percentage, but look at this, it drops off dramatically. 214, 38, 12, 14. So this guy, he wins or finishes nowhere. All right, so yeah, it's very difficult. That's a particular style of horse. You'll also get horses that don't win many races at all, but will finish second and third like 40% of the time. All right, Ducky Malin, one of the most famous horses in the game, is very much, now don't get me wrong, Excited Prince is not in that league, but very much a similar mould, okay, with high percentage wins and not too many places. Tyler, it touches on what we were just talking about. Vanilla Bean is in that first last mould, which is, it's a nice mould to be in. Sort of suits the class system as it currently stands. There's no reason behind that, Tyler, other than that the standard deviation of race run is very, very high. Pinkman is the same, tends to finish with a really, really quick time or the slowest time, you know, has either a record time or the slowest time, holds records at both ends. So the deviation is high, whereas that's better than having a horse that always finishes, you know, 3rd to 8th, but never finishes 1st and never finishes 12th. But then you've got something like Breathless Edge, which doesn't have that deviation, but the average run rate is right up towards the 1st, 2nd, 3rd positions, same as Grandeur. Okay. Oh, I just lost a bunch of questions again. We got the likes up. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. Where were we? Oh, here we go. Sandbagging, don't like it, don't do it. I don't do it, I don't like it. I think it damages the horse's stats, and I think the horse's stats long term might be way more valuable than a few extra dollars earned from sandbagging, in my opinion. I think that's going to prove to be a short-term mistake from a lot of the owners, particularly for Genesis. Genesis, only 38,000 Genesis. They're going to, in my opinion, not financial advice, don't listen to a word I say as far as where you stick your money, but in my opinion, only 38,000. We're going to eventually have millions of horses. Millions. Hundreds of millions, probably, if this game lasts 5, 10 years or longer. And that's what we think is going to happen. You know, we think this game could be around for hundreds of years. Continually improving and progressing. 38,000 Genesis left. Like, imagine the type of status symbol that's going to be to have one of these Genesis when there's millions, hundreds of millions of horses around. Now, they're probably not going to be competitive, but absolutely there's going to be, you know, these nostalgia type races where we have a Z1 feature race or something like that that has Breathless Edge and Baroque and all these, you know, horses invited, which might be the undercard for the biggest race of the year or something like that. You know what I mean? Absolutely. New Carrad, 88. Totally new. Just got my first horse. Can I race her as often as I want? Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. You can race. They are infinite. They don't die. You can breed them as much as you want, race them as much as you like. The only limit on that is that you can only enter 3 paid races and 1 free race at any one time. Other than that, go for your life, race as much as you like. Yeah, Scott Stenzel. Liquidity in the marketplace. Been trying to buy or target lightly run low odds foals for selling at 0.5 ETH seems scarce. Yeah, you might find some bred horses at that level. You won't find. Most people are wised up to that now. I contacted another racer this morning about a Z2 that has minimal runs but really good odds but no wins, and he was wise up to that. You got to pay the dollars now these days. You got to pay the dollars. The Ninja. Were those horses bred before the reset? Yes, they were, and some of them were better before the reset. In the case of Alabaster Lily's kids, Hypersonic. If I still got Alabaster here. No. Alabaster. Yeah, this guy here, Hypersonic. Still come out of the reset pretty good, but he was one of the best elites in the game pre-reset. He's still very, very good, mind you. I sold him a bit early. Someone got him for an absolute bargain. It was Crab Cakes, actually. They've had him and held him for probably 6 months now. I sold him a bit early and he was very cheap. Oh, there's no doubt, Mike, that I think... Now, what we have to ask ourselves, Mike says, so it probably skipped a generation as far as breeding. Yeah, so there's the ability to keep putting multiple genes into a horse. Now, why do they allow us to do that at the exclusive level? Who knows? Can we build up a shopping list of genetics and then eventually consolidate them with some sort of technique or tactic? Maybe we can. I've got a couple of theories on that I want to test in the next 3 months or so. I'm just bringing down some breed lines and then I'm going to test my theories on how to consolidate those genes into one super fast horse. We don't know when breeding will be back as yet. We have no announcement on that. I would say, if I had to guess, maybe a couple of weeks as they're working on finding a fix for that bug that was in there. What's a good win rate percentage? It tends a few variables. I mean, if you only put your horse in free racing, which is a possibility, then I don't really rate that at all unless it's been in paid. But let's assume we're talking paid because that's easier to get into. I'm not looking at horses unless they're at least above 10, more so above 15, and the elite horses are above 20 long term. Okay, you will see horses that will get to 50 races at around 35, maybe even 40%, but they'll tend to level off by the time they get to 100, they'll be around about 30, and by the time they get to 150, they'll be at 25, somewhere around about that. Sinclair West, we'll skip that one. I don't think it's relevant. Hey Jacuzzi, how you doing? Jack Sit. Baroque is better. You might be right. You might be right. We need to see 300 races from Baroque to see what happens with those odds, but you may absolutely be right. Maybe not more valuable, because you got to remember that Baroque is a female and Breathless is a male. We don't know how that plays out yet either. Maybe females are more valuable than males. At this stage, with the information I have, the males look to be more important in the breeding system. Now, when I say more important, that's not necessarily true, because maybe females have an important element that we don't yet know of, and I'm sure that is the case. But the reason I say males are potentially more important, and this is coming from a theory that I've had for 6 months, and for a while there, I had like all males, and I've since recently hedged my bets and bought a bunch of females in, female genesis. But for a while there, I wasn't even interested in the females, but I had to hedge for insurance. The reason is that the males are not only important in seeding the initial breed at the legendary stage, same as the females are obviously, but as you come down, the males, if we go to the breeding charts, can you guys kind of see that? Yeah? Here's the breeding chart. And if we look here, if we come down to the exclusive level, here's the exclusive level here, exclusive. You will see that when you breed an exclusive, you have 5 different options of producing an offspring. 4 of them are going to downgrade or degrade that to elite. Elite. One of them holds that level at exclusive, and that is a Genesis male with an exclusive mare, similar to what one of the other viewers was asking about before. So not only are the males very, very important at the initial seeding stage, but they also, if we think that sort of inbreeding style that created Atari is a thing, then breeding the males into the exclusive mares as you go down the line, you need the Genesis males to keep progressing that breed. Now, I've got a little theory that suggests that the females may be really, really important in the consolidation process. Okay, so that could make them or level out that value a little bit as well. But absolutely, I tried to buy Baroque from the owner before Lucky Boy got it, and I would have paid more, but the owner never contacted me back, unfortunately. Lucky Boy, very good stable. Very nice set of horses that he's got there. Check out a winning spade. Is that a horse, Drew? A winning spade, okay. Let's have a look. We won't do too many of these feature ones, but let's have a look. Winning spade. Yeah. Look to be a horse. A wicked spade, Drew? Must be. That would be the one he's thinking about, I would say. Nice. Rare colour, 34 races. It's only early days. Let's have a look a bit deeper on my chart here. A wicked spade. Let's get the odds. not great odds, to be honest. Not great odds. 8s, 9s, 10s. I don't have all the data. I've only got 12. It's original 12 races. It must be a new horse doing a lot of runs right now. But yeah, that's nice. Do I expect it to stay at 26? No, I don't. I don't. Yeah, I mean, this horse hasn't run, and this horse doesn't have a great rate. So currently, we're getting a lot of these new champs coming through without great parents. That's very, very interesting. And it sort of fits that theory where I said maybe the great horses are harder to get the champion breeds out of. That, I mean, that would make sense though, because otherwise they would overrun the game, and it wouldn't be all that much fun. Snooze fighting. My horse needs to lose her next race in class 4 because we can't stay in class 4. Well, sandbagging. I'm not up for it, but yeah, if you're hoping. Zed Gazette. Sorry, Zed. Give us another little bit of info on what do you mean? Which horses do I consider in that group? I know that I've been talking about a lot of different things. I'm sure you're probably talking about maybe the ones that get lots of places and not many wins, or vice versa. Give me a little detail exactly what you mean there. Zed Gazette, jump over to Zed Gazette, might be .com, or just Google Zed Gazette. Lots of good info over there. Yeah, Jack, absolutely. Baroque versus Baroque is much better than Breathless at 1,000 to 1,800. 1,800 is the cutoff for Breathless Edge as far as paid racing is concerned. And more likely we run at 2,000, 2,2, 2,4, 2,6. So yeah, on that level, Baroque is slightly better, no doubt about it, but it's not in Breathless's zone. So you've got two different hit zones there. Baroque better down the bottom, Breathless probably better up the top, and Baroque's probably slightly better through the middle to late running, as you said. I got absolutely agree with you on that level. But Baroque needs 300 races under her belt, you know. I agree, better below, but Good Boys in the house. G'day, Good Boys, if you're there. I love your stable. And we've been talking behind the scenes, haven't we, about putting some breeds together. We're going to do that in the future for sure. What's this about literally drinking your coffee out of your daily fantasy boot camp? I don't even know what that means. What's up, Jack? Smash the likes, dude. Yeah, we're going pretty good. 30 viewers, 24 likes. That's amazing, guys. We're right up there. This is as good as it gets. Good as it gets. Hit the sub button. I don't know if we got any subs yet. It doesn't show me that. Pawn shop. If a horse has win odds of 10 to 1... Oh, sorry, I already did that one, didn't I? Sandbagging is just done by placing your horses in higher classes at distances that they're not good at, basically. I don't recommend it. It ruins your stats, and it might be a long-term bad decision, in my opinion, particularly with Genesis. I think doing it with bred horses is probably not that huge a risk, because in the long term, they're probably going to get surpassed and overrun in any case. There's going to be an interesting dynamic there, actually, because you're only going to have a certain window when your bred horse is at the top. So, and you go past that window, it's going to start losing value to some degree, some horses. Some will still be breeders, but some might not be. So you've got to sort of, oh, do I get to the top and sell, or do I keep and breed, or what do I do, or does it just let that window go past? Noteworthy benefit. Let me just... Zed Gazette, get back to me with that detailed question if you want. Note. What was it? Noteworthy? Is that right? I mean, 9%. Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. Let's have a look on the stats here, if I can give you any info on it. If it's holding that 10%, you can keep racing it, but if it's dropping, then you might want to stop. 1 sec, I'm just looking it up on my stats sheet. Okay, so who was this? Jack. Jack, number 1, your horse is running at a loss. So that's up to you if you want to keep going down that path. It's currently lost, according to my stats, 0.06 ETH. And that's calculated by taking the entry fee and adding on the prize money. So the prize money you've earned has not eclipsed the entry fees you have paid. If you are going to keep running it, it looks like 14 and 1600 might be your best outlets. Goldie. Granger's been producing some real nice ones. Let's have a look at Goldie. Whoa, hello. I love it. I mean, this is why I let some of my offspring out there, because, you know, it's only good for the genetics. So we've got a grandson producing, wow, that's excellent. Great stuff. That's going to only make grandeur. And the theory of breeding in, you know, what do we got here? A colt. If that had been a mare, we could have maybe spoken about breeding grandeur back into that bloodline, because it's far enough away detached from the original grandeur breed that we could then bring grandeur back in again, see what happens. Tanner, what's up? I don't think that's the case. Tanner says, after breeding my horse, it seems to perform better in 14 and 1800 than it did before. Look, I can't give you a definitive answer on anything. I don't know, but I don't think from the information we're being told that is the case. Although, yeah, who knows, maybe it is. Gate preference Andy is not currently in. 25 likes, we are smashing it, guys. 28 likes and 31 viewers, you guys are legends. We're nearly at 100%. As the viewers turn over, maybe we can get to 110%. That would be phenomenal. Curry keeps, is this Steph Curry? Funny story, my brother thought he was a smarty pants and he knows nothing about the NBA, so he thought, I'll name some horses after NBA players, and he's like, who is the best? And Steph Curry came up, but it came up under, I guess, his birth name of Stephen Curry, and my brother's in there, yes, Stephen Curry, but so we got the other not so good one called Stephen. Stephen. Oh, from what I'm seeing from Steph Curry, mate, keep racing him, keep racing. If you start getting odds above 10s, then start considering your options, but at this point, keep racing. Perfect weapon. I wasn't planning on doing this, but sure. Genesis looks pretty good, mate. Looks pretty good. Is it paid? I've probably only got another 5-10 minutes. I can hear my little boy calling me. Yeah, pretty good odds. 7s up through 10s. What about paid racing? Same. It's a very nice horse. Yeah, it's a keeper. That's a keeper. See if you can breed that a few more times and see what comes of it. All right, 10 more minutes. Let's see what we got. 28 likes, going good. Hit the sub button if you could, guys. If you enjoy the content, let's build this into something. Give me some encouragement to do more and more. Supercoats, we don't have much information at this point as to why they're going to be valuable in the future. It seems like we might have supercoat races or something like that. I mean, I'm not sure if anyone else feels this, but I feel like supercoats need to be visually stronger, visually different, visually stand out. You know, I don't know, polka dots or a particular, you know, headdress or a particular stripe or a, you know, a sash, because at the moment there's just a little tiny fine print. It's like, oh, well, great, what's that mean? Nothing really. But yeah, give us something visually different so the rarity becomes a collectible factor. You know, if you've got You know, an absolute champion in a super rare colour like Stronghold Ivory or Slate Grey that is a super coat with a special golden sash or something like that. Yeah, or a different shade like a motley effect. Maybe we take the complementary colour, the opposite colour, and just whack a little bit of a shade difference in there so they become like a mottled horse. That would be freaking cool. I know they are mottled in shading already, but just add the, you know, a hint of colour. Class 3 seem to have the same. Yeah, as we get more breeding, there'll be more horses in the races, and it will spread the fields out a little bit for sure. Although I noticed UFO Nut, I noticed yesterday that Class 3 was really, really weak. You know, a lot of new horses. There was like 3 big bangers in there, if you like, 3 really strong horses in each Class 3 race, and then the rest were like 001s, 100s. Yeah, and you know, I like the look of that when I have some horses that are reasonably strong. We'll do, Naira, we'll do a bit more horse review another day. I'm just going to wrap this up shortly, so I'll just check for... the stats are different between paid and free Jedi, yeah, absolutely. Only for the fact that free races are mostly weaker, so you'll get more wins and lower odds. So I have a system via the API where I can split the 2 segments apart, and I don't rate free racing stats whatsoever. So I can split off to just paid and then see how good the horse is that way. Jordan, thanks for subbing, mate. I much appreciate it. Love the support that the community is giving what I'm doing, and I love to support the community. Yeah, for sure. Different shading effect on supercoats. Something, we need something. Yeah, absolutely. Sparkle, glitter, sash. Even a different, is it bridle? Is that what that thing around the head's called? I don't know, a different bridle, who knows? Something, different hooves, shoes. Jacuzzi, thanks for the upvote. I like this stream more than Pony Plug. We all love Pony Plug. There's some other great places. We're about to wrap this up. I believe Zoot, I'm not sure where that's going to, but have a look in the Discord. Zoot, Doofy and a few others are doing a live stream now. Pony Plug's always doing stuff. Zet Gazette's always on everything and giving back to the community. Jump on there. Give those guys some support as well. I love the support. We nearly got to 100% likes. That's going to be the goal for the next stream. 100% likes to concurrent viewers would be absolutely awesome as those viewers come through. Thanks again, guys. Hit me up on Discord with things you'd like to see, or tag me. Just do you know, when you put a post into Discord, just say @Poseidon Racing. Hey, how about we do a live on this or that? That would be really, really cool. One last question from Domitus123. Do I scout the opposition before? Oh, Heroine's here. Love your work, mate. Looking forward to together that we discussed once that barn opens back up. Another stable that's got horses that I am completely jealous of. As far as stables that I'm keeping my eye on, Heroine, Good Boy Racing, the stable that owns Billions, who is that? These are the guys that have the best eyes in the game, in my opinion. Oh, God, how am I going to pronounce that? There it is. Kauikoa? Kuikoa? I'm not sure. It's a Hawaiian name, I think. But this guy as well, or girl, guy or girl, incredible eye, lots of great horses. Heroine, Good Boy Racing, there's a few others as well. Jacuzzi, I think, if I had the money and it was offered, look, I don't have the money to spend that much money on a horse, but I believe Billions was a bargain, an absolute bargain. I think if you sell, well, I think you will see horses sell for far more than that in the next 2 to 3 months, maybe even earlier. And Billions being a one of one, Absolutely incredible. Whatever happened to those other fortune colours that were bred in? Let's have a look. Let's see if they've done something or if they're still in there. So if you don't know, Billions was always meant to be a 1 of 1, and then at the last drop, there was a coding error and 3 more fortune coats dropped, which is Billions colour. And the word I got was that they were going to remedy that. There was one called loading ... Here it is. Oh, wow. It's now a common colour. Okay, interesting that was the case. I heard rumours that they were going to switch them to their own 1 of 1s, but they have been remedied to commons. So I don't know what the compensation was there. That's been kept very quiet, very quiet. But there you go. Billions is back to being a 1 of 1, which, look, we'll do a live on horse value coming up, and you guys can submit your horses. And we'll also talk about a few key horses like Billions and a few others that I really value highly in the ecosystem. But I think Billions being a 1 of 1, if you look through other NFT projects like Delta F1, the best Formula 1 cars in that go for millions, like $1 million or $2 million. If you look at, even CryptoPunks or Kitties or anything like that, the top elite, most rare horses, the most desirable horses, eventually, once the market comes in and we get the numbers in here, they start going for millions of dollars, because it only takes one person that absolutely must have something and they're going to pay the $1 million or $2 million. It's going to happen. All right, guys. Let's wrap it up there, hey? Hit the sub button if you wouldn't mind. Hit the like button. We got to 30. And we're over the concurrent viewers of 25. We reached that target. Awesome work, team. Let's do it again tomorrow or the next day. For now, have a great day or evening, and we'll chat again soon. See ya.